Yo, 10:10 tonight is Acts 16, starting in verse 16, going all the way to 24. It's whenever Paul and Silas were traveling, and it says they were going to the place of prayer. They were met by a slave girl who had a spirit of divination, meaning there was a demon basically inside of her, following them around saying, those are followers of Christ, those are followers of Christ. And eventually they got annoyed with it because she kept saying, she kept saying it over and over. They said, those are servants of the Most High God who proclaim to you the way of salvation. You know what I mean? And it's telling the truth. But they got annoyed because she was just following them, screaming the whole time. So eventually they cast the demon out of her, and they get arrested for it. The priests and all that stuff come by and arrest them. I think it says when her owners saw that, the hope of gain was gone. That her owners, the slave owners, said their hope of gain was gone. They seized Paul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace before the rulers. And when they had brought them before the magistrates, they said, "Those men are Jews, and they are disturbing our city." Basically, the since the spirit was in the girl and the girl started following them because the spirit was following them, the people weren't making any money off their slave girl because they wasn't being a slave to them anymore. So they took them to the rulers in the city. They threw them in the jail. Um, right after that, in verse 25 through whatever, that is when they're in prison and they start singing and all the jail cells open and the jailer who has them there actually gets saved, actually gets like converted. And so like what I want to talk to you about 10:10 is that you might be in a place that you don't want to be, like in jail, like Paul and Silas were in jail. You might be sent somewhere that you don't necessarily feel like you should be or feel like you want to be, but it could work out to someone else's good. It's always going to be for the good of God, for like the good of Jesus. It's all going to be for His name, for His glory. And just because you're somewhere that you might not want to be, don't ever count God out. Always, always worship Him and always steer everything to Him, because Jesus is the only thing that matters. So that's 10:10.